I'm going to be using, as you can see, this is all the cards for the collective that I picked out. But, so, I'm going to be doing it for Mercury going direct, because it is finally direct, as well as the Virgo Full Moon that we're having on Saturday. So, it's going to be both of those energies in here, as well as challenges and blessings with all this cumulative energy. So I'm going to start back with some healing, because I know a lot of us are definitely going through some of that right now with all this crazy energy. Tarot of Dreams for some astrology stuff, as well as the Black Moon. I have a lot of moon and astrology in here just purely because of what I'm going to be reading today. And then we have, if I can make things move with me over here, the Moon deck for some affirmations and things like that, and Tarot of the Divine, Moonology, and then Sweet Dreams, because dreams are off the hook right now, at least for me anyways. So yes, and I will show you guys the pick a card cards when we're doing the pick a card. There's actually a new deck in there that I'm excited to use. I've actually gotten quite a few new decks while things have been, I don't know, psycho, I guess is a good way to put it. But I am going to take these out and get started on readings. So, first things first. Also, for those of you that do not know, because I put it on my announcement because I always forgot before this to say it, if you have Amazon Prime, it's actually connected with Twitch, so you can actually sub to me for free and get the discounts on my stuff. Because it gives you a free tier 1 sub, and it can just be like reoccurring, and you don't actually have to pay anything. It's just because you have it's just because you have Amazon Prime. I gotta make sure I'm getting my words correct as I'm saying things. But yes, you guys can do that for free and get discounts on my stuff that I have on my Facebook, like any readings or courses, since I'm offering astrology courses now. I'm telling you, my mind's like all over the place. But yeah, since I'm offering astrology now, you can get discounts on those courses too. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you right here, out of my way, so I can do this. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And now that I can show you guys some of the art on here, it's gonna be really interesting. So let's see what comes out. Oh, okay. We're just gonna get some jumping out already. So first one to come out is How Teachable Are You? So you guys can actually see the art a lot better now, which I'm actually really happy about. There should be a, like, I think if you go to subscribe, it should give you the option to link it, I think, if I'm remembering right. So first we have How Teachable Are You, which obviously is a huge thing right now. And then what fell out with it is Letting Go. You guys can see the art on there. So having both of these come out together, I feel that obviously a lot of us with this retrograde, we had a lot of things come back. Since this is dealing with Mercury going direct. Whatever we personally went through, because it's going to be very different for everybody depending on where you have Aquarius in your charts. Whatever was brought back to you during this time, whether it was to learn to accept that you will never get the... Because I feel for some of us, it's a lot about apologies and forgiveness. For those of you that are still having trouble with this letting go energy, it's about learning through everything that came back to you and deciding what's worthy of keeping and what's worthy of letting go. And also if you're having that trouble with letting go of things because you're waiting on an apology that will never happen. I feel like I'm competing with my music again today, so we're gonna turn some of that down so I can think. But with this right here, if you're still having trouble with letting go and you're being pulled in certain directions right now, which is going to feel very strong on this full moon coming up on Saturday, because there's actually, for those of you that have been listening to me before I went on hiatus during the whole retrograde because I was made to sit, but for this energy on this full moon, we're going to be having a yod being formed by the transits. So if you have anything between the, let me see, the degrees of 6 to 10 in Aquarius, same for Aries and same for Virgo, you're actually getting multiple yods activated, because those on Saturday with this full moon, the full moon's at 8 degrees Virgo, Saturn is going to be at 7 degrees Aquarius, and Chiron is at 7 degrees Aries, making their own yod. So if you have extra, that just means you're getting it piled on top of whatever you have. I have North Node in Aquarius at 9, so I'm getting more thrown in there. But if you're feeling this really strong sense, especially since Chiron is part of this, and so is Saturn, there's a lot of karmic healing happening right now. For some, it's going to be a lot different than... Oh, okay, Ruby, thank you. I could not... I couldn't remember because I did it so long ago. But with this whole energy, there's going to be a lot of karmic healing. For some different, with it being a lot more deep than other people. For some, it's going back as far as ancestors. And that's why there's a lot of teachable knowledge coming through, because things that were buried behind a lot of trauma through lineage, if you're able to let certain things go and work through them right now, it's pretty much like you're going to be getting a lot of information that wasn't really present for you before, and learning how to integrate it right now. Especially if you're having to work through a lot of family trauma. Like I was saying, so we have inner child coming out here, and this is what's surprising me is a lot of these are coming out upright already, which is like, this is move ahead energy. This isn't being stuck. This is really letting go. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of things coming up for people where they're not going to get apologies they felt that they should get in order to move on. In order to heal this inner child energy, you're going to have to be okay. Whether it's writing letters for yourself so that you can work through the emotions, or possibly even writing something to them and not caring about what comes back to you, as long as you can get what has been blocking you in this area just out. Because this is really cutting off solar plexus energy, which is, okay, car. This is like one of the first few nice days out, so the window's open, so I'm sorry for stuff that goes by. I've been craving nature, something fierce. This right here is really learning, and she's even in water, so it's learning to cleanse what has been lingering here. Because if you look at this, there is a lot of darkness and starting to work towards this energy, which too accurate. Oh my goodness. Okay, cards are just wanting to... Some of you are really fighting this though, because this is coming out together here. Some of you need to be paying more attention to what's going on around you, because there's pay attention to the signs. Literally coming out with this energy with Phoenix rising here. This is like reversed, where there's a lot of energy being stored, and once again we have this golden inner child kind of aura going on with the solar plexus. There's a lot of potential being stored right now for people, and we're not seeing it is the problem. And that's because it's literally locked in between. So for those that are actually having trouble, like if it's creative stifling kind of feeling, if it's lacking the confidence to do what you need to do, or possibly just being extremely serious and not being able to find any joy in life currently, there's pretty much a lot of things coming to you right now trying to show you. Even in this pay attention, there's this golden light in this lantern that is matching these colors. It's like trying to show that this is locked off because you're not paying attention to that light inside that's trying to heal this right now. And it's being blocked off by this need to let go and actually learn from what you're doing, as opposed to just trying to cut things and not process it. And, well, that's a bottom of the deck if I ever seen one. We have rejection, and this reversal here, it has reds in it, but there's also this energy of being tied down, and having a clock is feeling like time's running out. But I want to show you guys this a little more closer, because if you look at what she's holding right here, it's a pendant. I don't know how well you guys can actually see the pendant here, but she's holding this green pendant, and it's really making me think of the heart chakra here. And a lot of this energy that's closed off is basically you holding your heart at arm's length here, to, instead of allowing yourself to process, especially things that came from rejection, no matter how young it started. This pay attention to the signs is pay attention to your body. When you're doing certain things, does your chest tighten up? Do you feel like, especially with this Virgo moon energy, if you're paying attention to your health, how your body's reacting to things, your mental processes, like if you're feeling literally like you can't speak at times, or that there's just this great pain in your heart, or possibly even feeling a lot of tension when it comes to like digestive issues and things like this. All of these energies are literally each of your chakras trying to tell you, hey, this is where I'm stuck. This is where I'm having issues right now. And when you're feeling these things, or if you're feeling scared, or you don't feel like you really have the energy to do these things, pay attention to your body and what it's asking for. Because we're not going to see the little signs, because Virgo is about the details, if we are being so obsessed with the bigger things, there's actually a lot of little things right now that we're missing. Because if you notice this, the gold is so important, but it's so small in this picture. The signs that we're paying attention to are minute right now, and it's teaching us to be more in tune, not only with our bodies, but our surroundings, and how those have a better or worse effect on us. Now, if you're having trouble moving past some of this, literally because you can't let go of a rejection that happened or work through the pain of a rejection, whether that is love that crushed your confidence, or parents, or even siblings, or co-workers. It could be a whole lot of stuff with how these energies are mixed in together right now. Obviously, if you're looking at your birth chart, like I said, you can see where some of this is hitting you. I know for a lot of people I've been reading for, it's really been hitting the 4th and the 7th, which is the relationships and family. So that is, I don't know if that's just what I've been drawing to me lately, is people that need help with those things. But it has definitely been something I've noticed a pattern with. Okay, so let's get some tarot going here, since we're kind of getting some overall energy for you guys. Yep. First thing we have out is Mercury energy. But this is coming with Taurus. This is a little more like being stubborn isn't going to help here. This is coming out with how teachable are you. And this energy here, if you look at this, there's a lot of pain and sadness, but there's so much drained energy here. With this 5 of coins, it's almost like, especially with Mercury mixed in, I feel like there is a lot of mental anguish that's making you separate yourself from those around you. I should say us, because this is collective, but I guess that was really directed at somebody. But with this thing, it's pretty much like you're not allowing yourself, especially if you're refusing to learn from things that came back during this retrograde and you're staying stuck in it and feeling that lack mindset, like I'm never going to have these things. You're pretty much perpetuating it because you're not allowing yourself to learn from what came to you. Like I was saying, we got letting go and Ten of Swords reversed here. I want to be stubborn. But having the Ten of Swords come out reversed with this energy of letting go, it's really pushing forward, guys. Like I said, it's like this more of a mental energy, the things that were brought back, even though this is Pentacles, it has Mercury energy sitting in it. So all of this needing to learn and needing to release, it's almost like it's trying to double tell, like we release kind of thing, like this thing's over. Like I was saying, for some people it's very karmic, this healing, so it's going to hit a lot deeper than others. And with letting go of these things that probably have been embedded for a very long time in the subconscious, it's almost like you're healing a lot more than just yourself. With the Magician coming out reversed, you're healing a lot more than just yourself right now. This right here is really making me think of lineage. Once again, we have more Mercury energy coming out here. And this is coming out with this inner child need to be represented. The letting go of what's blocking the inner child and blocking the power. Like I said, a lot of things are being missed here. And power is just being siphoned where it's being used for the wrong things. And that's either directly siphoning your energy or your health It could be your gifts as well, without you realizing it, being put in positions where things were really stifled. It's almost like you don't believe in your own gifts. And the only way to really access these things is through allowing yourself to... This is that being serious energy I was talking about. It's like you can't find joy. So it's literally cutting off what you would be able to create, because there's so much here, and it's almost like there's so much to play with. There's so many things that you can learn right now, but instead it's being completely blocked off with a lot of this mental energy, and like pretty much like a bunch of chains sitting over that inner child energy. And Page of Swords. So once again, we're going to have some more mental energy with some swords energy. I don't know how many times I got to say that this is mental energy. For a lot of you, it's a different mindset that's needed, some fresh points of view. But it's also, like I was saying, Mercury is Hermes, that playful energy spirit, the trickster. For some, you just need to interject play into how you're talking with people instead of like being hypercritical, especially if you do have Virgo that is like very prominent in your chart, and it's starting to move towards the moon, where this energy is going to be really shooting into that Virgo energy. I mean, it's going to be for everybody, but people with Virgo placements or those other placements I talked about at the beginning are going to be feeling this extra heavy, and it's going to be easier said than done to be feeling in a good mood while all this is happening. But it's really trying to help you work on mental fortitude and how adaptable you are to situations, especially after coming out of a bunch of different ones that happened during retrograde. And then, I mean, some of you really learned that your friends were crap. Because there was people you used to trust with pretty much everything, and now you're realizing that these people were just around to talk about you. They were just there. I mean, this is coming out with pay attention to the signs and this Phoenix rising being blocked off, and it has golden energy too. There were literally some people that were dealing with disingenuous individuals that were literally just around to siphon, like this Magician reverse and the Phoenix rising reverse. This was like a lot of siphoning energy for either them to get ahead, them to gossip in order to build up their own ego. It was really trying to stifle what you were trying to create. So it's almost like anything you tried to do felt kind of worthless when being around these people, because they were just trying to take from you what they could. And what you need to do is see these people with a new perspective instead of not taking the wool from over your eyes here. And Chariot, just straight up, we get some movement going here. Once again, we have this water energy coming through here too. It's like a big cleansing. For some of you, there is going to be a lot of change happening around Cancer season with this, like possibly really working through. I know that's like a while away. It's like July, but it'll be here faster than you know it. I need to start really recording transit things that I get because I'm too lazy to write it. But there is another big energy coming during Cancer season that I honestly cannot remember for the life of me right now. But for some of you, that's directly an impact. And then bottom of the deck, if you stay still, bottom of the deck energy, we have the Palace of Wands. Now, this energy is pretty much, like I've been saying, for those of you that have been really closed off, it's like really moving forward into finding this. This is what you're looking for right now. And the only way to get there is to start being comfortable and opening up this power you shut off, without caring what these people have to say, whether that is family, friends, coworkers. Like I was saying, it can be a whole slew of people, but people that are doing this type of thing to you, this kind of, I even heard bribery. Some people are just really on the outs with doing some really messed up stuff right now, and that's because the retrograde brought that out in them. It brought out that true color that a lot of us, like, there's masks in this picture too. So a lot of people's masks literally fell off, and you're seeing it for what it is. Like, pay attention. Like, don't lie to yourself. Because what you're moving towards is trying to create your own palace. This place where you feel safe in your creativity, your spirituality, your healing, loving the inner child instead of feeling like it is a weakness. Because there's a lot of power being stepped into here, but the only way to do it is to, like, start cutting some ties here for a lot of you that have been giving it away so readily. Old friends. So let's see some more astrology over here with the black moon. Okay, so let's start moving into the other info we want, right? We've been seeing a lot about challenges here. And we're starting to work into some of the blessings that are coming out with opening up power. I like how this one wanted to jump out, and it's literally Grand Cross Provoker. Some of you really need to be watching who you're letting pretty much get your goat, is what I'm hearing. Like, some of you are just really letting people get to you right now, and that's why you're not really stepping away from the stubborn energy. That's why you're having trouble letting go. It's like I said, some of you need to learn that the last word isn't worth it. It's better to just, like, walk away from it instead of just giving it your energy over and over and over again. But I do gotta say, people that overcome Grand Cross energies become very stable, very secure, and it brings about a lot of abundance and a lot of blessings because you work through such harshness. It's one of the more difficult aspects to work through when you have this natally, but also there's going to be quite a few of us, myself included, that have Grand Crosses right now because of transits. So it's going to be sitting very heavy. It's going to be pushing you to do things in order to work towards moving out of this towards your palace. Yeah, a little creative studio. That would be awesome, palace. And we have Cancer again, because Cancer was on the Chariot, and we have I Feel. Now, this energy coming with letting go, obviously there are emotions tied into it. There is like I said, that woman was holding that pendant that was like her heart, holding it at arm's length. You need to realize how much strength are in your emotions instead of trying to shut it out and trying to reason through this so logically. Your emotion holds a lot of your intuition, which means it holds a lot of your power. And with this being on the Magician reverse, some of you, the reason you're not healing is you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable even with yourself. So it's like you're cutting off your own power because of what these people have done, instead of allowing yourself to work through it and actually see what they have given you. Because believe it or not, even from what I've been going through, a lot of times we may look at past things as only being negative, but there's actually little silver linings and blessings in all of them if we sit and actually think about it for a little bit without allowing ourselves to become critical of the situation. It's just we observe it. And that's what this Page of Swords is trying to do, is bring a different point of view and allow us to see that our feelings are strength. It's not a weakness. And for some people, we are way too focused on people's opinions about what we should be doing with our lives. That's what this 10th house, the world, is giving me anyways. Because this is career and everything else. This being reversed is like you repressing, like I said, like the magician, repressing your power, going with people that are telling you what to do with your gifts, what you should be doing with your persona, whatever it is, to where they benefit instead of you benefiting. And you need to see things for what they are. Because as much as you might want to take certain people with you, like you feel like you owe them certain things, you feel that you even just jump out. Let's throw more gold out here in case I hadn't talked about the solar plexus and the sun. We're going to talk about Leo, which is also connected to this, which I swear I just talked about this somewhere. Actually talked about how 1 in numerology is, which I know a lot of people have been seeing repeating numbers, whether that is 111, 1111, 1010, whatever it is. There seems to be ones in what everyone is seeing. This is about forward movement. This is the I will, like I can take on whatever I need. It's that strength and power. And that ability to move forward, that positive masculine energy where we have that confidence to be able to, okay, I get it, Car, to be able to soar in what we are gifted in instead of feeling guilty for it, instead of feeling like we can't leave certain aspects of ourselves behind that are drowning us in this perceived way we're supposed to be. Being able to move into this light and actually heal the inner child that's hidden. Because the 5th house is ruled by Leo, which is also our inner child, children. Just, I mean, for some of you, like, just birth is on the menu here and you guys are going to get pregnant. But whoever that's for, because there's a lot of Cancer energy, a lot of mothering energy, child energy, like that can easily be inner child healings coming through you actually bringing a blessing into the world and learning how to heal your inner child through that energy. For whoever that was for, that was very, just oddball off the side there. And then we have Scorpio, I transform, which, like I was saying earlier, some of us literally have Grand Cross energies in our charts right now. If you have Scorpio energy, Scorpio planets in your chart currently, you are going to have part of this T-square energy going on with the Grand Cross. Because, and if you have Leo, it fully completes it. So if you have, because Aquarius and Uranus are squaring off anyways, these are their opposing signs, which means if you have these in your charts, you actually have a Grand Cross happening, which is interesting that both of these wanted to come out right now and say, this is pretty much like, I will transform through this energy. It's like saying, like, this needs to happen. I'm not supposed to be where I'm powerless and listening to what everyone else is saying. I'm supposed to be using this to my advantage. Scorpio moon's coming out over here. And then the bottom of the deck here is Void of Course moon missing. Now, this Void of Course moon, what it is when it's actually transiting, and it's a very strange thing. It's like it's in between signs, because, you know, the way they're in signs is when they move into the constellations. When a Void of Course moon happens, it's almost like having an interception in your chart, where the energy is missing, and you're trying to learn. This is a big, like, very first card, guys. How teachable are you? This is a big learning curve for a whole lot of us, where we're having to really open up. We're having to understand where this is affecting us and how to use our will. Like, because this isn't just like, you know, I will do something. This is willpower, using our will to actually overcome these obstacles so that we can heal. Now, that's going to be very foreign for a lot of us, but we're not really going to be given the how can I put this? It is time for this now. That's pretty much it. I mean, if we're having a yod pointing at the moon, specifically the Virgo one, where you need to take care of your shit so you can balance out your spirituality or you're going to be blocked off. Having a yod going from Chiron and Saturn with all this karmic healing energy, it's pretty much like it is time to will yourself in the transformation if you've been feeling stuck with it. Allowing yourself to use the moon, what's Cancer rules the moon. We're just going to throw some more of that in there. To actually use this energy to your advantage. Let's see what's going on with this moon deck over here. Let's do affirmations or just plain call outs, because sometimes this deck is all about calling some people out. So this might come out as both blessings and challenges. So let's see. Okay, I don't know how many times we're going to go over this. I am courageous, steady, and strong. Once again, we have more lion energy, more solar plexus, more courage energy. And this is coming out with this Grand Cross. Like I said, overcoming this, having the courage to work through it instead of letting it put you out on your own. It's like being willing to learn and to work through this. Because it takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable. Always getting called out. Oh, these two wanted to come out together. So, this one right here, I surrender to the power of prayer and devotion. So, this one's reversed over here. Some of you, this is coming out with that Ten of Swords too, where needing to let go of things. And the letting go card and the Magician reversed. The reason some of you are feeling so blocked is you're actually not really allowing yourself to be, for one, open with yourself and actually admitting that you aren't letting go of these things. It's almost like fighting, saying that you are not letting go. It's like that kind of delusion, which is much thanks to Neptune being in Pisces right now and squaring off with the nodes. It's going to bring a lot of us having to go through dreams, which I have that dream thing. I gotta quit trying to straighten it. It's going to drive me nuts. But this is allowing yourself, especially if you haven't been meditating, if you haven't been doing something to where you can just pull your energy back to yourself to see where you are, to reset, to be able to feel what's going on within you instead of shutting it down. You aren't even, there's no way you're letting go because you're not surrendering anything. You're literally holding it and being stubborn with it, which is making you not be as steady and strong as you could be. Like, there's still this forward movement with having Chariot over here. There's going to be forward movement regardless of what you're choosing to do. But if you can allow the letting go, if you can allow yourself to actually get back to your core, that is what's going to help you be more in tune with your feelings and your intuition. And it's going to help you open up like a key, because Chiron does look like a key and it's part of all this. It's pretty much like using that key to heal. It's like putting that little lock, and I feel like this is, okay, I'm going to go off on a tangent, guys. Everyone's saying that people's talents and certain things that are blocked off are hidden behind Chiron. It's hidden behind our wound, needing to heal what we come here with. Everyone has different feelings on Chiron, either staying with us our entire life or being able to heal it during this lifetime. I've seen it very specifically in charts that there's some people that they literally are supposed to heal their Chiron this lifetime. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. But this energy is really about learning how to use Chiron as a key instead of looking at it like it's a lock or a blockage. Because being able to see the power that is actually in that in your own chart, and then being able to use the transiting one to your advantage, is what's going to help you with being more comfortable with surrender, because it's very healing. If you haven't been letting yourself cry with all of this very tense energy, some of you really need a good cry. And that's actually kind of going to be the opening gates for you guys, because water has been very present here. Oh, I didn't even go... See, some of you are skipping straight over this. Like, this came out with this surrender card, and then I just started shuffling, going to something else. Some of you are straight up just not doing this right here because it's skipping. With a steady mind, I am connected to our collective experience. Some of you are trying to just skip straight over this part. And that's because it's almost like your mind isn't steady. It's like it's wish-washing back and forth. You're giving away your power to other people. For those of you that are starting to realize this and put the pieces together and learn, you're actually learning how to sit with yourself right now. You're learning how to feel through things. It's not always going to feel steady. Like I said, there's a lot of deception going on between people. Some people are really projecting what they want you to be doing with your life instead of allowing you to find your way. Which, I've said this many times, no one knows better than you what you have going on. Inside, without, environment, all that kind of stuff. No one else is in your body. If you're not feeling steady, change things that you're doing daily. Create some kind of small routine where you're giving yourself time, no matter what it is, to pull away from all of this. Whether that is completely collective energy, like whatever's going on in the world and needing to pull yourself back in, or it's directly in your environment where you need to put up boundaries. Because for some of you, the willpower needs to come in here for boundaries. And that's how you're going to transform the energy around you. All you guys. Yeah, I cried too during this thing, and it was like, I'm not one to really do it that much. And like I said, for some of you, you're skipping straight over this. My inner compass knows the way, with this being reversed energy here. And there's been a lot of things. There have been clocks. There have been, well, this is a clock too, but it's kind of depicted almost like a compass as well. There's a compass over, there's a lot of these things about timing and inner compasses right now. Like I said, for some of you, this is very karmic. And with this coming out with paying attention to signs, you're not going to be able to see what's going on around you if you're constant, and this is blue too, so this is going back to this air energy with the swords, and there's just so much here with you guys needing to steady. And see, steady, it's like this is what it's trying to say: courageous and steady, being connected and steady. It's like you being able to let go and listen to the inner compass. It's like really willing yourself into that energy, so that way you can flow with what you need to and start pulling back what's yours. Especially if you've really been blocking yourself off. Ooh, sorry, I didn't mean to bump you guys. Like I said, this is a new setup, and I'm getting used to where my hands are. But we have here, allow stillness to heal and reveal. Now, I was already talking about Chiron. And this is coming back to steady mind, being steady and strong. This is like allowing yourself to be comfortable. And like I was saying, for some of you, this is like literally being at home within your body and paying attention to your body's signs. Because if you can't be still and listen to your body, then for one, your body's not healing. Because some of you, it's literally like you need sleep so your body can heal, and you're not getting it because you're not allowing any steadiness right now. Everything's very chaotic. Your body itself needs literal healing. That can also come from diet, movement, allowing yourself to have a still mind so your body can heal. Because while your mind is just going haywire with some of these things that you really are working on letting go of, if you're not working on it, then it's pretty much telling you need to start working on it, because things are moving forward with or without your input right now. It just depends on what you're creating for yourself in this energy. But allowing yourself stillness is really going to help work through a lot of this energy. It's also going to bring back that willpower in order to stand and be steadfast when it comes to certain things that are blocking you. And let's see. Okay, I said something to this effect earlier, but for some of you, you literally need something probably that you can put on your wall, or just a saying or something, because this is like direct energy here, where it's like, with focus and intention, I can shape energy in any direction. Mind over matter here, people, so much, especially with this transformation energy. This, like I said, this is steady mind and stillness. Like, you can't have focus and intention if you're scattered everywhere. You can't shape things like boundaries and things like that if you are scattered all over the place. Whatever it takes for you to be able to be at peace in your body and calm down right now, even if it's napping. Like, you don't... For some people, some of you just need to nap. I don't know why that keeps coming through. We don't have the Four of Swords here, but the napping is really coming through for some of you, where you just need to allow yourself to rest a little bit, because it's just... You're chaotic because you're not healing, because you don't have enough sleep. But the only way you're going to focus is if you literally will yourself to be present in this energy. Because some of you, it's going to be a lot harder than others with how heavy this is sitting. You have to really give yourself a space that is away from everything. If you have to create your own little nook to where you are very calm and you know that no one's going to interrupt you, even if it's just to listen to music, do something where you can pull yourself away so you can actually start having focus, and then you can work towards intention. Because some of you are just so scattered it's not even happening. Okay, I've been talking about boundaries like this whole reading. Bottom of the deck, healthy boundaries keep me centered and balanced. Now, I mean, do I have to explain this? Some of you just write this somewhere and like have it above your bed, have it on the fridge. Do something where you know boundaries are a good thing. They're a really good thing to have. It's not a bad thing. Don't feel guilty for having them. This is reminding me of that void of course. This is reminding me of that void of course moon energy, where some of you healthy boundaries are just straight up missing. Like you don't have them is because you're afraid of rejection if you put them up. If people are asses when you put this stuff up, then they need to be gone. They don't deserve you giving your life force to them because you want to take care of yourself and they're getting mad. You can't build a palace and be secure and happy in it and allow yourself to do things that you really want to do if you're not allowing yourself to have boundaries where it's most important. Screenshot taken. But let's see what we have with Tarot of the Divine. I know I kept saying the Four of Swords wasn't here yet, but if it shows up with this deck, I'll be like, yeah, what were you guys expecting? But let's see what comes out over here. Okay, so now you guys are going to be able to see the art on these cards better because I can actually hold them up for you guys. Okay. so we have more Pentacle energy coming out. But this one's the Six of Coins. Now, looking at this right here, it's a very interesting art piece. Because it's like we have a white fox, which obviously this is a lot of cunning, but it's like pure intention cunning. It's like that playful peace type energy I was saying with the inner child. This is like looking in on this energy, and she's actually giving a bunch of pentacles out to different insects. Now, obviously some people are like, ew, insects, I don't want to deal with that. If you're having that reaction to insects, then this is telling you, yes, there are a lot of parasites around you. I just want to go ahead and say that. Because this is a card of distributing wealth, of rewards, of things being equal. If you are feeling like, oh my god, ew, with the insects, then that means you are distributing your wealth amongst things that gross you out and you're not even paying attention to it. Because this is coming out with the how teachable are you, the Grand Cross energy, the feeling alone. As much as this is a card of equality, this is like coming out on this energy where you need to be courageous and strong. And this right here, this guy is coming out of her bucket taking it already. Like, they all have one and he's coming out. It's like, and plus your little inner child isn't getting anything. There's just a lot of messages coming through with this card. Now, for those of you that feel that way, that's you. There's another way you can be feeling this. If you're feeling like, you know, Mother Nature kind of thing, like she's really being kind and giving back to these things and actually looking on this with a happy set of eyes instead of feeling grossed out by the insects. This is more you realizing this, that you're seeing the beauty in different aspects of yourself. This is very internal. Even though these things may feel like at some point they can be icky or just kind of like give you like the heebie-jeebies a little bit, it's almost like you're learning to give proper attention to every aspect of yourself, even if it's scary, even if it's sometimes you would rather turn away from it and not really give a crumb or anything to it. You're learning to give to each part of yourself equally. Now, what's interesting is with the 6 bugs, it's like the 5 senses plus the 6th sense is kind of what I'm feeling. So it's almost like having all of the earthly things taken care of as well as the spiritual. So there's just a whole lot coming out with that one. Let's see what else, because that was nice whammy for one card. Okay, I'm done with you guys. Like, we're going to get the 10 of Swords in the same exact spot in 2 different decks. Like, I know for some of you, like, yes, this was, like, a lot. This was extremely painful. It really sucked. But you are holding on like it's no one's business. This needs to just be dropped here. It's such a huge blockage here, especially if you're the one that was sitting here going ew and like you're realizing you're doing this kind of thing, but you don't want to let go of it when this is something that, you know, it's complete. It's time to like drop all these things that have literally been like, there's water over here too. It's like, it's pretty much like making you drown in your own sea of your woes over here. And it's not necessarily crying. This is more of the pity me, the victim. And this is pretty much like a kick in the ass that's saying, like, you cannot sit here and be like, oh, pity me with this stuff when you know how to break out of it. It's like you're choosing to sit in it. And this is starting to become a little more pushy now. 7 yeah, this is definitely becoming more pushy. So we have the 7 of Wands here, and this is like what's usually with this card when you look at the art. There are people that are being fought off. And this card, he is like, has a hammer and he is hammering nails into like a quarry thing. Like, he's basically fighting against himself to be the victor of himself. So for those of you that spoke directly to you conquering like different parts of yourself, once again, there's 6 things that he's driving into the ground. Even though this is a 7, he's holding the 7th and he's driving everything else. This is like all the aspects getting attention and all getting where they need to go. And steady mind, it's like working through this huge blockage with the inner child, because wands is also like fire. So once again, going back to that Leo inner child energy, like being able to work through every aspect of this and being able to give equal attention, but also pretty much driving the point home that this is how it's going to stay. Having those healthy boundaries is going to be a huge stepping stone. Where the heck is Ryan? his cow came out here. But Knight of Coins reverse. Like I said, some of you are so freaking stubborn right now. It is like beyond, like I said, and this is coming out on that card where some of you are just wanting to like not even act like it's existing with like having a steady mind. You're being so stubborn and just not trusting yourself, not budging. It's like you're putting a lot of things on hold right now. You're not allowing yourself to access anything purely out of like distrust for your own self. The cow. But this energy is so poor Ryan. Is so heavy with not being able to trust what's going on, because I mean there's a lot of things being bombarded with a lot of things right now, especially new ways of thinking, but then you're fighting it, and it's like seriously there's this big feeling of not being able to trust it at all, and that's because you're not paying attention to the intuition here and steadying yourself. So let's see. 8 of Swords reversed. Like I talked about earlier, it's like there are chains sitting all over this solar plexus energy. And once again, this is coming out with all of that energy and missing the signs. 8 of Swords reversed is like just release it. These things you're putting on yourself. And this one in particular, I want to show you guys the art upright, but this is a little girl who is hiding away from civilization, and I mean she has pots and pans and stuff in her cave and everything, but it's like there are a lot of swords around her. She's wearing this animal skin, but it's like there are swords that she can take out. She can walk out of the skin even though she would be severely vulnerable because underneath she has nothing. But there would be strength in that vulnerability because she'd be walking away what is actually tacking her to the ground. But for some of you, this is about learning that there's multiple avenues. There's multiple things you can do. I mean, even if you're not ready to completely just walk out from underneath everything that's happening, that doesn't mean you can't just start pulling swords out of what's tacking you to the ground. Take whatever steps you need to, whether it's bold strides straight out because you're ready, or if it's small steps by going through each thing at a time and finding the power each step of the way. Because with this reversed, it's saying that you can do this, but you have to allow yourself the time to heal and the stillness and actually take stock of what actually is keeping you literally pinned to the ground right now. A lot of it is your distrust for yourself. Okay, these just wanted to poke the crap out of my hand while I was chef. Okay, these were poking me really hard and wouldn't turn, so I'm just going to show both of them to you guys. We have the Ace of Wands and the High Priestess. Now, in this deck, The Ace of Wands is such a creative looking card. It's ridiculous. And I know the Ace of Wands typically is like this huge burst of like enthusiasm, good luck, fortune, creativity, all these different things, because it is an ace. In this art, there is a hand coming in holding a paintbrush, and it is fully engulfed in flames. It is like all of this solar plexus energy I've been talking about, all of that creativity. It is being so full of it, you're literally painting the sky, because this is like painting the sun with like just the drops. That is how much creativity is flowing through the veins right now. And it's like just being able to touch and sky is created, instead of like really having to force things. And this is just literally letting yourself go through the healing. This unlocks a lot for those of you that have been feeling creatively blocked. And then having the High Priestess here, it's like I was saying, this intuition energy is so profound right now, especially coming up on the moon. And unlike a lot of other High Priestess cards, this chick is relaxed. I don't know if you can see just how relaxed she is right now, but she is like on a whole bunch of pillows. She is reading a good book right now. Like I said, some of you just need to change little things you're doing, whether it's giving yourself some space to just relax. She's ruling. She's like a queen too. She has on these different gems, as well as still having an air of mystery, like, oh, like, you walked in my bedroom, what you want? Like, but she already knows at the same time, because she has that, like, twinkle in her eye, that she already knows why you're there. But that's pretty much like your higher self. They already know why you're there. Some of you just need to connect to that right now. Like that focus and intention energy. Some of you could literally focus on being in that energy, and it'll help open things up. So let's see. Some of you guys are not going to be happy with this one. So this card is our bottom of the deck card. So before you guys get all like, okay, the Tower, I'm not happy with anything that's happening anymore. I see the Tower card. This Tower card's reversed, and it's pretty much like I've been saying this whole reading. Things are moving forward with or without your you being comfortable right now. So you can either make the choice with this being reversed, how uncomfortable you want to be, and start like taking steps towards it, or just full on say screw it and like go out. However you feel your energy right now is working best for you. This is stepping into what's working for you and building a whole new foundation. Like I said, with that Seven of Wands, stuff is getting built right now with those nails. Like you're just hammering in, you're getting the resources you need, and you're not afraid to take it. And there's going to be a lot of creative ways that are going to come to you with this, but you got to start taking the steps towards it. Things are falling apart, but it's not because things have been struck down. It's because something's been lit internally. Because in this picture, the Tower isn't broken. There's no break in the Tower. There is literally just flames coming out of the top. And then the long hair of Rapunzel in here that they tried to escape from but ended up falling. It's like at least they took matters into their own hands and tried to do something, but it's still going to be difficult, because what you're trudging through is a lot of thorns. Like I said, there's a lot of people you're dealing with right now that were deceitful, harmful. There's things that you're having to deal with, and either you're going to let it just hit you, or you're gonna like push yourself through it. So let's see. what Moonology got to say. It seems like there's a lot more challenges coming with all this energy. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be easy to start with this week. I mean, things aren't going to be feeling less heavy until Mars finally moves into Gemini, and some of this squaring energy with all the Mars and Aquarius, Taurus, like some of that's finally going to lift once it does that on March 3rd, which is next week. Plus we're dealing with the shadow period. Like this week is still going to feel heavy. We're still going to be going through stuff. It's just it's turning around and making us do something with this full moon kicking it off. Okay, some of you are just like very stubborn and your people are going to yell at you again. Surrender to the divine being reversed here with full moon. Like, some of you are just straight out being called out with that card. But especially coming out with the other one that said the same thing. Some of you are just straight up being called out right now. Others of you, if you're feeling blocked, like you haven't been able to do this is kind of giving you a timeline of like, you know, these things are going to start changing up, but you need to change the way you're looking at things. Instead of holding so heavy and feeling so grossed out about certain things, whether it's about yourself and you needing to give proper attention where it needs to go in order to let go of certain things. Or if it's dealing with other people and you need to give proper attention where it needs to be given instead of going off and throwing it in things like drama or anything like that, because that isn't adding to what you need to be learning right now. Like that, how teachable are you with that first card? Like some of you are really missing the point of some of these lessons right now. Okay, so we're just gonna do this. We're getting timelines here. Because new moon in Pisces is going to come after this full moon in Virgo. Some of you need to be taking this time and literally meditating. Like, there is a whole lot in here that I was talking about meditating, being still, steady, getting your shit straight, basically, and learning how to sit with yourself and be comfortable with it. This is like, you know, by the time of the new moon, which is going to be about 2.5 weeks after this full moon on Saturday, it's like, until then, really work on this. Like, don't sit there and be like, just because you saw the Chariot, that like, oh, if it didn't happen tomorrow, I missed the boat. Like, no, you need to be working on this. Like, there's not just one nail to hammer in here. There's multiple things going on right now. And then energy is gaining momentum. Literally came out with this. So, like I said, things are going to keep moving forward with or without your consent. But you are the one deciding how this energy is going to be affecting you moving forward. And that's a big part of all this here, is realizing that you might not have control over circumstances. Like, there's certain circumstances you're going to have to surrender to and just realize that you can't change it, but you are the one in control of your reaction, the energy you're choosing to give to it. Pretty much everything that you can have control over, it's saying like you need to get into tune with that. And we're going to just pull all these because they're deciding to keep jabbing me through the hand. We got new moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears, coming out here with the Eight of Swords energy, and being stubborn, and it's reversed. It's like some of you flat out refusing to work through some of this stuff, like I said, is what your blockage is. You're just flat out refusing when there's new ways that are actually coming to you to think. And, okay, we're just going to, some of you are getting completely called out in this moment. Don't let pride get in your way. It's coming out with the Leo I will, and this is a full moon in Leo. This is this is making me think of that victim mentality again. Like I said, some of you are not going to get apologies. It's just not going to happen. And instead of like your ego being wounded and sitting in that, you need to like will yourself out of this energy of like, I deserve, especially if it's something that you're very passionate about or like really wounded your ego. You have to realize you got to start taking the swords out yourself, or just completely walk out of it. Because like I said, some of you are just ready to walk completely out of it, but you haven't healed that part of yourself that is going to allow you to yet. And for those of you that are straight up just trying to walk out, we got full moon in Aries with this fiery climax approaching. Like I said, there's stuff happening. And there's so much full and new moon energy here that, like, this isn't some little thing. Like, there is a whole lot of endings and creation just over and over again. And the thing is, the new moons, which are creation, are in water signs. This is creating through intuition and through working through the depths and through understanding our emotions and the power in them. And then the endings are fiery. The endings are dropping the ego and finally moving out of the energy, ending the energy, not allowing yourself to stay stuck there anymore. Every time you say Leo. But, okay, so we had the full moon card, and now we have the new moon as the bottom of the deck. As like I said, all this is a whole bunch of endings and creation happening right now. But a new start is coming. Like I said, the new moons are this new start, and it's like create this energy. Like that Ace of Wands is like freaking on fire over there, dude. Like this is a big creation. And just letting go and shedding of what isn't helping anymore. So, let's get some sweet dream affirmations going here. She wants to fall out. I know I've been working through stuff in my dreams. Okay. Oh my gosh. Surrender. Ta-da. I don't know how many times surrender is just gonna fall out over here for those who are being stubborn, but literally I don't know how many of these surrender fell out of. Even the Ten of Swords is basically like move on, and like, you know, it hurt, but come on now. And this is like, I surrender the old limiting beliefs. I awaken and am reborn into limitless possibilities. I mean, inner child thing is limiting beliefs, that old crap. Oh, that one flipped over. We have flow. I now open myself to inspiration and watch creativity flow through me. For those of you that really missed the message of this, where I feel like these are just going to throw themselves and be like, yeah, for those of you that really were trying to ignore, we're just going to reiterate at the end that we know you didn't listen the first 10 times over. I'm saying that and this card comes out. Let go. Stop being stubborn. I am kind to myself and share my beauty with those around me. I let go of self-criticism. This is major, like I was saying, that Virgo placement energy. Like, don't allow that negative aspect, that criticism to start coming out, because that's kind of like the start of a whole new world of blockages here. Like, that is not where we're going right now. And then, last one that we have is divine dream. I am divinely guided. My intuition shows me the way through my dreaming world. So another mention of intuition and literally getting answers through dreams. And then we have lessons. One second. Okay, I'm just going to hold lessons up. It's bottom of the deck. I don't want the cards all flying out of my hands. So, lessons. I look for opportunities in life's challenges via my dreams, and I learn the lesson. So, you're... For some of you, I'm not sorry for this because obviously we need these to grow. But for some of you, literally, your opportunities that are coming from this energy are lessons. Like, learning from the challenges is literally these blessings. Stepping into your power, all these types of things, being more in touch with your body, your intuition, all of these are blessings to have, even though they may seem tedious. Oh my gosh. But all of these energies are very much very Virgo